Every week, somebody walks into my shop and asks me the same question. I've got $20,000. Which F-150 should I buy? My answer usually surprises them. I don't tell them which truck to buy. I tell them which engine to buy. Because two F-150s can be parked right next to each other on a used lot. Same color, same mileage, same price. One will make it to 300,000 miles. The other will spend the next 3 years paying your mechanic's mortgage. I'm RJ. I've been working on Fords for over 20 years. Before I tell you the engine I'd actually spend my own money on, let me show you what I'd walk away from first. The 5.4-liter Triton V8, 2004 through 2010. This engine has a story every Ford mechanic knows by heart. Two-piece spark plugs threaded into an aluminum head. At routine service intervals, those plugs seize. When they break on removal, and they break regularly on any truck that went past 70 or 80,000 miles without a tune-up, what should be a $200 job becomes a major repair. I've watched one broken plug cost $600 to extract. Multiply that across 8 cylinders on a truck where nobody ever changed them. I've seen owners face repair estimates that made them reconsider the entire purchase. Not because the F-150 failed them, because that one engineering decision turned routine maintenance into a financial calculation. The cam phaser system on this engine carries the same oil pressure sensitivity that caused problems across Ford's modular V8 family in that era. On the 5.4, the stakes were higher. When phasers and timing chain wear together, and they usually do, because the same extended oil intervals that starve the phasers also accelerate chain stretch, you're looking at $2,000 to $3,500 minimum on a well-caught case. I've seen the bill go higher when the problem was ignored for too long. At that point, you're weighing a repair against what the truck is worth. Neither answer feels good. When you find a 5.4 on the lot, one question tells you most of what you need to know. When were the spark plugs last changed? If the owner doesn't know, assume they weren't. If you can get a look at the service records and plugs don't appear before 100,000 miles, that's your answer. Cold start is the other check. A brief metallic rattle in the first 15 to 30 seconds that fades as the engine warms up is the sound of cam phaser wear. Not all 5.4s have it, but the ones that do are already telling you where this is going. No plug service history before 100,000 miles, walk away. Cold start rattle that fades, walk away faster. The early 3.5 EcoBoost, 2011 through 2016. Ford made a bold bet in 2011. A twin-turbo V6 replacing a V8 in America's best-selling truck. For a lot of owners, it worked well. For owners who towed hard and stretched their oil changes, it created expensive maintenance situations that weren't always obvious on the lot. The timing chain on the first-generation 3.5 stretched faster than Ford anticipated. The cam phasers wear when oil quality drops, and the direct injection setup means intake valves accumulate carbon because fuel never washes over them. These three problems don't usually arrive alone. They arrive together, at high mileage, on the same truck, in the same shop visit. Timing chain and phaser work runs $1,800 to $3,000. Carbon service runs $500 to $800. When all three show up at 80,000 miles, you're looking at a repair bill that changes the math on the entire purchase. If you're looking at a used early 3.5, price in at least $2,000 for deferred maintenance before you make any offer. Ask for oil change records. If the owner averaged more than 6,000 miles between changes, the timing system's paid for it. Listen on cold startup. The rattle that disappears after warm-up isn't normal on a healthy engine. It's the phaser telling you what the service history already showed. Early 3.5, only if it's unbelievably cheap and you understand what you're getting. The early 2.7 EcoBoost, 2015 through 2017. Here's where it gets subtle, because the 2.7 is a genuinely good engine in the right years. The problem is that a 2016 and a 2018 look completely identical from the outside. Same body, same badges, same interior. But Ford made a significant change under the hood in 2018 that directly affects how long this engine stays clean and how much it costs to maintain. The early 2.7 used direct injection only. Same carbon accumulation on the intake valves as the early 3.5, just at a slower rate because it's a smaller engine running at lower boost. The 2018 and newer 2.7 added port injection alongside direct injection. Fuel now washes over the intake valves on every cycle. The carbon problem that costs owners $500 to $800 every 40,000 miles simply doesn't accumulate the same way. 1 year separates a good used buy from one that carries a known recurring expense. Before you make an offer on any 2.7, pull the door jamb sticker and find the build date. Confirm you're buying the dual injection version. Don't take the seller's word for it. Every 2.7, check the build date first. The wrong year on this engine is a recurring maintenance cost the right year doesn't have. The maintenance schedule I actually recommend for any F-150 engine, the intervals Ford doesn't print in the owner's manual, that's what the Ford Longevity Blueprint covers. Links in the description. Before I tell you what I'd buy, let me tell you the mistake I see every week. A buyer finds an F-150 on Marketplace, low mileage, clean interior, King Ranch leather, platinum trim with every feature. They negotiate hard on the price, get a good deal, and drive it home. 6 months later, they're in my shop asking why the cold start rattles. You can replace the seats. You can replace the screen. You can put different wheels on it tomorrow. Replacing the engine changes the entire purchase. The truck you're buying isn't a truck, it's an engine. Everything else is furniture around it. Most buyers spend their time on trim level and color. The buyers who don't come back to my shop spend their time on the engine, the oil records, and the cold start. Two F-150s can look identical on the lot. The one with the right engine and the right history is a completely different asset than the one with nicer seats. 3 engines I'd actually spend my money on, starting with the one that makes the most sense if you tow. The second generation 3.5 EcoBoost, 2017 and up. Remember what I said about the early 3.5? Ford was paying attention too. The second generation that arrived in the 2017 F-150 is not the same engine. Revised timing chain tensioners and guides, improved cam phaser system, and the most important change? Port injection added alongside direct injection. Fuel now washes over the intake valves on every cycle. The carbon clean that cost every EcoBoost owner $500 to $800 every 40,000 miles became a non-issue. I have customers with 2018 and 19 F-150s with the second gen 3.5 and 130,000 miles on them. Oil on schedule, transmission serviced, no phaser rattle, no timing chain noise, no carbon. If you tow regularly, if max payload matters, if you need the highest rated towing capacity in the F-150 lineup, this is the engine that makes sense. Just don't skip oil changes. Turbo replacement on a 3.5 runs $1,500 to $2,500 per side if you push it. On a properly maintained truck, most owners never get there. Gen 2 3.5. Buy if you tow. Treat the oil intervals like they matter because on a turbo engine, they do. The 2.7 EcoBoost, 2018 and up. This is the engine most people overlook. On paper, a 2.7 liter V6 in a full-size truck sounds like the budget compromise. In practice, it came closer to beating the winner of this comparison than anyone watching our teardown expected. 325 horsepower, 400 pound-feet of torque, better fuel economy than anything else in the F-150 lineup. For most owners, daily driving, weekend projects, moderate towing up to 8,500 pounds, this engine does everything a V8 does at a lower cost per mile. The 2018 and up version with dual injection keeps the intake valves clean. The compacted graphite iron block is the same material used in heavy-duty diesel engines. At 200,000 miles on the teardown bench, the 2.7's block condition was in better shape than the larger EcoBoost. The single most surprising finding from our teardown was the turbo bearing condition on the 2.7 at 200,000 miles. It measured closer to the naturally aspirated V8 than to the larger twin-turbo 3.5. Part of that is the engineering. The first generation 2.7 used a single twin-scroll turbo running at a lower absolute boost level than the 3.5. Part of it is the ownership pattern. Most 2.7 buyers drive them as daily drivers, not dedicated towing machines. 200,000 miles of commuting looks very different on the bench than 200,000 miles under sustained trailer load. If this were my money, and my budget was tight, the 2018 or newer 2.7 with dual injection and clean service records would be very hard to pass up. This engine had no business finishing as close to first place as it did. 2.7, 2018 and up, the people's engine. Underestimated, underpriced, and closer to the top of this list than its reputation suggests. And the 5.0 Coyote V8, 2011 and up. If you gave me $30,000 tomorrow and told me I could buy only one Ford, I wouldn't spend a single minute looking at trim levels. I'd spend every minute looking for this engine. Here's why the Coyote wins, and it's not what most people expect. The Gen 2 and 3.5 EcoBoosts are genuinely good engines now. I just told you I'd buy one. What separates the Coyote isn't reliability. It's what owning one asks of you. No turbos running hot after a hard pull. No intercoolers accumulating moisture. No boost pressure cycling through hoses and connections that age. The cam timing system exists on the Coyote too, but without turbo heat and higher oil temperatures, it lives a longer and simpler life. When something needs attention on a Coyote, it's usually a straightforward repair any competent mechanic can handle without specialty equipment. The labor rates are lower. The parts are common. The diagnosis is obvious. For a buyer who wants to own a truck for 10 years and not think about the engine, that simplicity is worth more than it looks on a spec sheet. I have customers with 2013 and 2015 F-150s with the 5.0 and over 200,000 miles showing up for oil changes and tire rotations. That's the whole visit. No timing system overhauls, no carbon cleaning every 40,000 miles, no turbo conversations at $1,500 per side, just oil, plugs at the right interval, and a coolant flush when it's due. The Coyote got better with every generation. The third gen, from 2018 and up, added dual fuel injection, the same carbon prevention solution Ford used on the updated EcoBoosts. Each version has been cleaner and more refined than the one before it. Find a well-maintained Coyote and don't hesitate. The Coyote doesn't ask much. That's exactly why it wins. You know which engine you want. Here's what to do when you find one. Year matters. The 2015 through 2017 Coyote addressed the minor early tensioner issues that appeared on some 2011 through 2014 examples. 2018 and up brought dual injection and is the cleanest version of the engine. All three generations are worth buying with the right service history. None of them are inherently risky, the way early EcoBoosts were. Transmission matters, more than most buyers realize. The 6-speed 6R80 that came in earlier generation F-150s is one of the most proven transmissions Ford has ever built. The 10-speed 10R80 that replaced it is a capable transmission when maintained. Drain and fill at 45,000 miles. Mercon ULV only. No substitutes. The early 10R80s had shifting complaints that Ford addressed through software updates. If you're buying an early 10R80, ask if it's been serviced and whether it received the available calibration updates. A well-maintained 10R80 is fine. One with no service history on a high-mileage truck is a risk you don't need when you're already choosing the right engine. If you can find a Coyote with a 6-speed, you're buying the simplest, most proven powertrain combination Ford built in this generation. Cold start is the test that tells you everything. The engine needs to be cold. Sitting overnight is ideal. Start it and listen for the first 30 seconds. A healthy Coyote warms up quickly and quietly. Any metallic ticking or rattling in those first seconds that fades as the engine warms is a sign of VCT wear It belongs in your negotiation, not your purchase agreement. If the seller won't let you do a cold start, that's your answer. Ask one question about the service history. When were the spark plugs last changed? The Coyote uses iridium plugs that last a long time when the engine runs clean. But at 60 to 100,000 miles, they need changing. An owner who can't answer this question or doesn't have records hasn't been paying attention to the truck. That's the kind of ownership history that also means oil changes were stretched and the transmission was never serviced. Records matter. If they don't exist, price that in before you offer. Current market? A 2015 F-150 with the 5.0 in good condition runs around $12,000 to $20,000 private party depending on configuration and mileage. A 2018 runs $15,000 to $35,000. The Coyote commands a small premium over the base V6 engines. That premium is worth every dollar of it when you understand what you're buying. Find the Coyote, find the service history, do the cold start. Don't rush. The right truck is out there and it'll outlast anything else at that price. If this video helped you keep a little more money in your pocket and you'd like to support the channel, hit the join button below. I'll see you in the next one.